You have been watching this scene the wrong way. When Robert Downey Jr. steps out of the shadows as Dr. Doom, your brain isn't just reacting to a casting twist. It is experiencing a carefully planned brain hack. The directors didn't just cast an actor, they weaponized a decade of your deep trust. This shot isn't just about the character of Victor Von Doom. It's about forcing the audience to face the exact same deep fear they feel when they look at the real world. So hey everybody, I am Ritika Dua and welcome to Anigramix. In this breakdown, we are completely ignoring the multiverse camos and Easter eggs. Instead, we are talking apart the cinematic architecture of the end of the world. You will learn how the Russo Brothers turned real-world anxiety, the exact kind that keeps you doom scrolling at 2 a.m. Instead, blockbuster visual language. We are going to explore how color theory shows cosmic death, how camera placement steals power from a god, and why filmmakers create sadness on purpose to change your brain chemistry. Because once you understand how the tools of fear are built on screen, you will understand filmmaking on a completely new level. The human brain is wired to focus on negative. In ancient times, being on high alert kept us alive. If you paid attention to the rustling in the bushes, you survived. Today, that exact same survival trait is hijacked by the endless scroll of our digital feeds. We constantly consume terrible news, a habit called doom scrolling, because our minds hate not knowing what comes next. We desperately look for information to feel in control of a world that feels unstable. Big blockbuster movies are never made in a bubble. They mirror our shared fears. Right now, the real-world doomsday clock is set at 85 seconds to midnight, the closest humanity has ever been to the end. The threats aren't just nuclear anymore. They are diseases, climate change, and AI. Marvel Studios saw this massive cultural fear. The filmmakers knew that to create a villain for a world obsessed with its own end, they couldn't just make up a monster. They had to take that one face the audience deeply trusts to save them and corrupt it. What students should learn from this? Great villains are never just physically strong. They are clear reflections of society's deepest hidden fears. How you can use this technique? Before you write your villain, research what your audience is secretly terrified of in their daily lives. If society is afraid of losing privacy, design a villain who uses cameras as weapons. Root your story in absolute reality. Here's where it gets even smarter. For 15 years, the directors carefully trained our brains to think Robert Downey Jr. with total safety. Think about the visual language of Iron Man. Fast editing, bright lights, and high-tech display shots. The camera was inside the helmet with him. We shared his point of view. The introduction of Dr. Doom completely destroys that visual closeness. Notice the clash in directing. We hear the accent, we see the green robes, but the camera refuses to give us a clear, well-lit shot of the actor's face. He is hidden in heavy shadows and cold metal lighting. Your brain desperately searches for the frame for Tony Stark's familiar eyes to feel safe. But the cinematography denies you that comfort. This creates deep mental confusion. Thanos was a villain of cold math. He wanted to balance the scales. Doom, however, is shown as the ultimate cosmic doomsday prepper. His mindset comes from the idea that extreme action makes perfect sense in an unpredictable world. Doom sees reality falling apart and he holds power because he believes normal heroes have failed. What students should learn from this? Lighting and framing can actively betray the audience's expectations. By hiding a character's eyes, the director instantly builds a wall of distrust and deep fear. How you can use this technique? If you are introducing a character who is supposed to flip a classic hero type on its head, completely reverse the lighting and camera distance used for that hero. If the hero is always shot in close-up with warm lights, shot their dark copy in wide angles, hidden by heavy shadows. But that's only half the story. The directors don't just rely on an actor to sell the end of the world. They bake the apocalypse straight into the color grade. Look at the inclusion. 3 Earths crashing the sky. The sky isn't colored in the fiery oranges or deep blacks you usually see in disaster films. It is washed in a sick, unnatural yellow. In color psychology, yellow can mean warmth, but this specific faded, sickly yellow secretly tells your brain to feel rot, disease, and cosmic death. Next, the directors use the rule of escalation. To set up a terrifying new threat, you must easily embarrass the previous strongest character. Thor arrives, and the camera placement. Here is a masterclass in mind control. In Infinity War, Thor's arrival was shot from a low angle, making him look like a massive, unstoppable hero. Here, against Doom, the camera is placed high. By shooting down at Thor, the camera visually crushes the literal god of thunder into a small, desperate figure. When Doom blocks Thor's magic axe with just 2 fingers, physical strength is instantly made useless. Most people completely miss this next detail. The fear of Doomsday in the real world is driven by countdowns, and the directors hid one right in front of us. The teaser trailers used hidden number codes like this. The code 1E means 30. Add 30 to the timeline breaking year of 2020 and you get 2050. The following numbers aren't dates. They are pieces of the timeline breaking apart. The filmmakers are showing a timeline bleeding backwards. Doom isn't causing the end of the world. He is just the person waiting to take control when the countdown hits 0. What students should learn from this? Scale and color are mental weapons. You don't make a villain stronger by having them punch harder. You make them stronger by visually shrinking your most powerful hero and draining the color out of your location. How you can use this technique? Use the camera angle to show who has the power in a scene. If your main character has lost all hope, do not shoot them at eye level. Put the camera high and wide to physically swallow them in the background, forcing the audience to feel how alone they are. The real genius is how the directors release the stress they have spent the whole trailer building. Thor admits they need a miracle. The delivery of that miracle, the return of Captain America, is visually huge. The framing of his walk out of the shadows is an almost exact copy of his arrival in Infinity War. Why repeat the exact same composition? Because in a story full of timeline chaos and the corruption of Iron Man's face, the camera must treat Steve Rogers as the rock-solid center of what is right. By repeating the visual framing, the director secretly tells the audience, the world is ending, but this man has not changed. This brings us to the weird truth about Doomsday movies. Why do we pay money to watch the world end when the real news is already so scary? Because while real-world doom scrolling makes us feel alone and highly anxious, movie Doomsdays give us a safe, shared space. The theater becomes a safe place to process our deep fears together. What students should learn from this? Visual callbacks are not just for fans. They are emotional anchors. Repeating a composition from a past victory secretly injects hope into a scene full of sadness. How you can use this technique? When your characters are at their absolute lowest point, bring back a visual pattern, a specific lighting cue, or a camera movement linked to their biggest win. You don't need spoken words to tell the audience that hope is back. The camera will do it for you. Avengers Doomsday is not going to break box office record just because it features old characters. It will succeed because it takes the exhausting fear society feels every time we look at our phones, gives it a silver mask, and finally lets us watch someone fight back. Filmmaking isn't just about showing the audience the end of the world. It's about understanding their deepest fears, proving those fears are real through the lens, and giving the audience the mental tools to survive it. Thank you so much for watching if you are still here. If you enjoyed this video and our style of teaching, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel Anigramix and hit the bell icon. You already know why. So see you in the next Anigramix Masterclass. Bye bye.